Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today on the Rockport Studio Tour Live. Today's featured artist is our self-proclaimed interloper from Victoria, Texas. Victoria, Texas is just a little bit north of Rockport and is kind of nestled. It's northwest on the way to Houston. It's about an hour away and still very close enough that the communities definitely go back and forth. So while they're getting ready at up in Victoria, I'm going to just go ahead and thank our sponsors today. I want to thank, of course, First Community Bank. Because of them, we're able to bring you the show every week. They are our presenting sponsor, and they are just downtown on Business 37. They are also sponsors of our upcoming festival, and stay tuned because next Tuesday we will be talking all about Artfest. So please join us then. We have special guests. We have our poster artist, we have our curator, we have our chair for the event, and we have our very interesting executive director, Louise Perrone, will be joining us as well. Also want to thank Prosperity Bank. Prosperity Bank, also on Business 35, is a great supporter of the arts. Again, also sponsors of our upcoming Art Fest. And I also want to thank Karen Mella Real Estate. She is our sign sponsor. She is helping so many people find homes here in Rockport. So if you're interested in coming, not only visiting, but staying here, reach out to Karen Mella Real Estate. She also is an underwriter for our upcoming art auction. So with that, I want to bring back bring us back over to our artists and show our speaker view. And I'm going to introduce to you today, Debra Chronister. Debra, which camera are you on? I just need to know how to share. Oh, there she is. Hold on. We need to unmute you.
I got her unmuted. There we go.
All right. Hi, Debra. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We couldn't hear you on Virginia's phone.
So how crazy. Well, I'm glad that I went ahead. Oh, I see your dog Jax right behind you. What a great little lad he is.
Yes.
Here, I have a special place in my heart for Jax. I am one of his dog sitters, so I love that dog very much. All right.
Y'all are the best dog sitters.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much.
I always thought vacation going with y'all. Anyway, come into my yard.
Great. Now, Debra lives up in Victoria, Texas, and she is a professor of art at Victoria College. So we are enjoying her studio and showing what she makes.
Yes. Well, first of all, this creative act in the backyard, this very prolific and growing place, this is one of the places that I create. Creating, for instance, the chicken coop and the multiple chicken paddocks in the backyard. And of course, for COVID, I have my 2 big gardens. There's the whole microgreen factory just off to the right with the outdoor bathtub.
Now you take outdoor bathtub.
Oh my, yes. That's one of the best things that I've ever done in this yard.
Oh, that would be great for dog washing as well.
Here's Bird.
Oh, and for those of you who have watched it at home, you may have noticed this bird on Debra's shoulder through each week. She has nursed this bird back to health. She was wild originally, correct?
Yes, she's an orphan. She was an orphan starling, and I see her first grown-up feather right there. That's exciting. It's she'll be black, like an oil slick colored black. Oh my God.
Have you given her a name?
Say it again.
Have you given her a name?
Birdie. Very creative. Birdie Bird. And can I tell you, first of all, Virginia is here and she is helping to do the video, and Barbara Sparkman is also here.
Wonderful. Barbara Sparkman is one of our artists, and that's great. Yes. And Virginia is Debra's friend from Victoria. That was her the Thing hand, right? From the Addams Family, the Thing.
Yes, yes.
It's like
Spirit
a hand
fingers.
cross.
Let's get Jax to go open the door for us. Oh, I don't know. He's kind of busy right now.
I told you, as soon as you ask him to do something. Jax is a therapy dog with a nonprofit up outside of Victoria. He and Debra work with children with autism through therapy using horses and dogs. So he is a very well-trained and mild-mannered German Shepherd who is not listening at all right now. So how about we just go on in? But it's really cool. He does this great trick where he actually opens the door as one of his many things. He also, you can shoot him with your fingers and he'll play dead. Oh, Debra, let's see your gallery. I mean, let's see your studio. Oh, here, now he's gonna help out. I know, he's camera shy. As soon as you ask him to do something.
Oh, come on.
He's like, why should I? You have thumbs, open the door.
Oh, well, sure he did. He opens this with his foot most of the time.
Yeah.
But speaking of, this door handle is, well, something that you'll see a little more later, but this is a door handle that's been here for years and I made that. And here's my studio.
Wonderful.
Welcome to the studio with the perch for bird. And it's a former one-car garage. And it has become my studio space, especially after my daughter moved out. Then all of a sudden, I had the whole thing to myself. And that was really nice. That was really, finally, I was able to create everything on my own. Here's a new body of work, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. But we can come back to the studio after I show y'all some more artwork. But there are a couple of things that I really like about making use of this relatively small space. And one of them is just being inventive with tools. Like I didn't want a separate wedging table for wedging the clay. So I have a board to wedge the clay on that has hooks here that will keep the board steady while I'm wedging. So I have one for white clay and another one for red clay.
Wow, that's a nice, nifty, handy thing right
That
there.
is.
Yeah, nice idea.
I like to draw also. And so when I draw, I need wall space and there's not a lot of wall space in here. So I have this big board here. So I can draw on this, but I might want another drawing. I might want to be working on a couple of drawings. So I've got this where I can post more drawings up here and I can have multiple drawings going on at one time. So that's another way I've made good use of space in a small studio.
What about these drawings over here, Deborah? Are these hooping cranes or?
Oh, those are some of the things that I got to bring home from Germany. I did a residency in Germany and the artwork had to stay in Germany, except what I could bring home in the in my suitcase. So I was able to roll those up and bring them back. They are they're full-size sketches of porcelain pieces. Well, actually, they're both stoneware pieces that I did in Germany. And you can look at the pieces on my website at debrasdomain.org.
Debrasdomain.org. All right, I'll put that in the chat.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So let's go and look at some more artwork. I have one of those bird pieces, a small one. Oh, here's another drawing. That was a good drawing. And an award. This is an award that lives at the Victoria College and it goes around to the Victoria Foundation fundraising winner every year.
That's also something you made, right?
Yes, yes. And it has the same dolphin handles on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this is also a photo of one of your drawings that's in a faculty exhibition. So
Yes.
it's very well represented in her studio.
Deborah, hey Deborah, can you give me one more time? What is that website?
debrasdomain.org. And
All right,
it has
it's
art and yoga and no music. But I just, with the help of Mina, got photos from the German residency up. No captions
oh,
yet.
fantastic.
I'll get there. I'll get there. Come on up. So I make a lot of different types of art. And what I'm going to demonstrate for y'all today is something that is easy for me to share, which is throwing and trimming and doing some color work on a porcelain piece. But the multiple kinds of work that I do, like these pieces, when I work with nature, when I find some interesting anomaly in nature, I have to sit with that thing for a bit. I have to sit with it sometimes for a year or two till I figure out what it wants to be a part of. So this is an elm branch, and it had these flanges on it, and I thought it was so distinctive and unique and wonderful. And by gold leafing it, I enhanced that, and I found this was an accidental shape that came off the wheel, and I thought that's the way it needs to go. That's it. So they're like poetry, and it's nothing that I can really demonstrate. This piece also, Trametes Transition. This is turkey tail fungus that is enhanced and preserved, and very, very well preserved. Because my time at the zoo, I didn't learn just how to work with animals. I also learned how to preserve things for long term. And so these pieces are the actual fungus, but they're not going to, they're no longer living. And the metaphor that I just love with these, not only are they beautiful, but the metaphor of eroding and of taking the gallery wall down. I think that's a beautiful metaphor. And another
Deborah.
poem. Yeah.
Could we get a close up of those?
Oh yes, please. Let's.
And what is turkey tail fungus?
Turkey tail fungus, that's Trametes is the genus name. And if you walk outside to any wooded area, you'll probably see it. They're relatively common, just not necessarily this big. So
And does it grow on trees?
yes.
Ah.
Yes.
It's upside down.
Yes, these grow normally flipped. So this is one of the things that I was able to
Wow,
do
that's
to
beautiful.
art. But one of the things I love about it, Virginia, see if you can catch this glow that happens with the gold is so reflective. And yeah, this is not a gallery, so it shows better when it's on that white wall and it has a golden halo around it. It's really beautiful. Thanks for asking, Stan.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah.
Just for everyone's edification, I have put a link to the Wikipedia article about turkey tail fungus in the chat, so you can see some pictures and learn a little bit more.
Aren't you great? Thank you very much, Carol. I have a collection of bones in my office and also in my studio. I collect bones and I love to clean them and make them beautiful. This one is a pelican skull, and the title of this piece is called Pelican Kettle. So when one of the ways I love to learn about a bone or an object is by drawing it in great detail. So I render that, but I also like to give it this atmosphere. And I think about the way birds kettle and spiral as they're catching that uplift. and of course you can see the pelicans following each other when you're at the coast. So it's one of those magic things that I like to observe. And here, we're transitioning to the fire pot project.
For those that don't know what that is, you have to tell them about La Belle.
Yes, the La Belle shipwreck. La Belle shipwreck happened in the 1860s, and it lay underwater for 300 years until I believe it was 1995 when someone found it, and they pulled up a piece from the shipwreck in Matagorda Bay, and it was some green glazed ceramic. And they're like, oh, that looks like Saintonge ware from France. I wonder if this is the French ship. And in fact, it was. So there were these 9 pots at the bottom of the ship, in the hold of the ship, and they had black powder and a grenade, and they were corked, and they had a fuse. And the researchers on that project were like, we got to see what the blast power of this was like. So instead of blowing up the actual things, they had a potter make replicas. That would be me. And then I got to make a bunch of these fire pots, and we took them to the bomb range and blew them up. And it was so much fun. And that's another page on the website. So when you go to debrasdomain.org, there's a whole page on the fire pot project. And one of my favorites are these 4-handled loopy pots. These are just so much fun to make, and they're so distinctive. And it makes me think that if it was a bomb, you could have a string, because they're heavy. When they're filled with an cast iron grenade and a black powder, they're really heavy. But then you could like spin it and get some distance. But the archaeologists think that it was actually a light and run device. But I hope that whoever was going to do it could run really fast. So these are replicas of some of the 9 that were found on the Belle shipwreck in the Saintonge glaze. And I was able to figure out how to make the glaze without lead, because the original is all full of lead.
Wow.
So that was
That's a lot safer.
Do what?
I said that's a lot safer.
Yes, yes, it is.
Safer than a bomb.
Definitely, definitely.
And here is one of the door handles. And this is made from a mold that I have from the dolphin on the cannon from La Belle shipwreck. So I have a 2-part press mold, and I can press it with porcelain like this one. And this is, like I said, this is my door handle. And then I fill it with an epoxy so you can drill into it. And that is one of the things that I make for people who want cool door handles that have a historical connection.
That is so cool and incredibly relevant to Texas history right here in the Coastal Bend.
Exactly. And then I took that same mold to Germany with me. And as I was learning new clays, because every clay is different. So I tried out all the different clays with, see what they do. Oh, that's so right. Yes. Thanks, Barbara.
Yeah.
That picture that you have is the cover picture, Carol.
Oh, I'm sorry. What the heck?
Loser. Got a finger over the microphone
Oh
or
my
something.
gosh. No, that was me. Keep going. Don't worry about it. Mistakes, human error.
The poster that you have, the image on the poster, Carol,
Yeah.
that's made with these fishes, these dolphins. I don't know what.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this
That's
is them.
very beautiful.
Yes. And I also do commissions. Oh, that's right. Let me
So
transition.
she does
over-
commissions.
We'll get back to the commissions. I have to show you, this is the latest thing that I've done that is successful anyway. We'll get to that when we get down to the studio. This is part of my Love in the Baroque series. very naughty, very suggestive. Yes. So they're hanging sculptures, and they are made out of two, obviously, of those dolphins. And they have a silver luster, a white gold luster on them. And I think of them as really quite naughty. And one of these is
Why?
that will be given away today.
Oh, wonderful. That's a great hanging piece.
Yes. So this one has the red and purple. This one is purple and blue, and they both have the white gold on it. This one is raccoon, and it has various layers of non-ceramic color on it beyond the glaze. So these two are porcelain, and this is made out of raccoon clay. So whoever wins the drawing today can pick which one they like.
Wonderful. So just to let some folks know, we may have some new viewers up in Victoria today. At the end of the episode, very close, just shortly before 5, we will give away one of these items. And by asking you all with Price is Right rules to type in a number between a certain range in the chat, and then we'll do a drawing and you may win one of these items. So with this, what else is on those? Let's talk about your commissions.
Oh, this is such a neat thing. We have the Victoria Film Festival, and of course, Rockport has an independent film festival too. And I have, from the very first year, I have made the awards that go to all of the winners. And this has the logo of the film festival. And then I'm able to put in whatever letters need to be in there for whoever won. Whichever
What a great award. That is such a memorable.
Thank you.
I mean,
People are all the time because these are handmade films. Why get just a cast obelisk, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
we lost
the
you.
Rockport. Maybe
We lost your
Rockport Festival needs some.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, I will pass those on to the powers that be and let them know that that is an option.
Okay.
But, all right, do we have your video back?
The thing.
That's okay. We have some more pieces.
Wonderful.
I've always been enamored with this half sphere shape, and that half sphere shape with a big fat lip. And this is one of the things that I'll demonstrate for us down on the wheel. And I started doing this little scoop scallop because it's just so harmonious with this curved bowl and the curved up and the curved down. And I love this. This is one of my favoriteest, happiest shapes. But when I found these decals, because this reminds me also of a jellyfish, and when I found Haeckel's artwork on decals that could be fired onto ceramic, oh my gosh, I said, I have to have these.
So did you make those out of slabs?
Yes. The platters are slab platters.
And then you added those decals and you purchased the decals?
Yes, because this is Haeckel's work from way back when. Googling his name is Haeckel, I believe. Yeah, he's got some amazing artwork. And like these squids, these are also Haeckel prints. Well, those drawings in the studio of the birds that look like whooping cranes, they're actually storks. And I made the sculptures of these storks because they were having some trouble with the storks in Germany when I was there. It was very dry. It was a drought, and the baby storks were not making it because there were not enough frogs and animals to feed the babies. But birding is one of my all-time great loves. And this is one of the most fascinating birds. This is the smallest one of those types of pieces that I've ever done. And it's a merganser. And they do this behavior in the water where they dip and they throw their head back, and they're competing for female attention. And this hooded merganser is just one of the cool things that I enjoy studying and learning about and making art about it. So that's the one bird piece that I have right now. And then the last work to look at, the last body of work that I have is using that porcelain from New Zealand. And Carol, I know you have some of these. You have some of the larger ones.
I do, and Barbara does too.
Yes, yes.
We were both comparing our Debra Chronister collections.
Oh, excellent. The thing that is so challenging is they are thrown. It's much easier to slip cast porcelain than it is to throw it when you're talking about this thin.
It looks like a light bulb shell.
Yes, and to get the porcelain this thin is really challenging. So, and look at even the bottom. So
wow,
it is a real treat to drink out of these. These are some of my daily drinkers.
That's quite special.
Yes.
And Deborah,
Yes.
can you explain a little more about that porcelain? What's in it that makes it translucent or not in it?
This particular kind of porcelain is called frost, and it's from New Zealand. And Graulig does the same thing. The Graulig is the porcelain bed from England. So you can get Graulig from England. And I don't know of any really good translucent porcelains that are here in the United States. So there are lots in China. Porcelain was developed in China, but what happens is to get really translucent, and I'm not sure what's in this particular formula, but bone ash can be used. And when that ash fires down, then it fires into almost like a glass kind of mix. So it ends up being very dense and very glassy. And everyone thinks of porcelain as being delicate, but it's actually incredibly strong for the size and the shape of it all.
Oh, so are you saying I should take those cups off of our shelf and actually use them?
Do that, yes.
Okay.
In a dishwasher, yes, yes.
No, oh my gosh.
Yeah, with
Have
the
to do
tiny
that.
ones, you have to be careful that you want to put them in the silverware rack so they don't go through the rack and fall down. Because
Just personally, I'll hand wash them, but you know.
yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Well, that's it for the tour, and we can get ready for the demo. Yes.
Well, fantastic. I know that you have to set up your cameras. So right now, let's do the Rockport Studio Tour Live Artist Roll Call. Doc, can you take it away?
Yeah, sure can. All right, we'll go to this view here that I'm on. And to my left here, we have Elsa. Hi, Elsa. How you doing? What you got going on there?
Oh, she's muted.
Muted? Yep, gotta unmute her. Let's see. There she unmute. There she is.
There you are. Hey, Elsa.
Hi.
How you doing?
I love that poster in your background.
This is not a poster. This is an original oil painting that I've been working on this week. It's from a photo I had from the Chaviana in San Antonio, and I've kind of had it in my files forever. And finally decided I'm going back and I did this. I had the frame.
Still find some.
And so I wanted to finish it up, and it's all one color, monotone. And anyway, I had lots of fun doing it.
Wonderful. No, I was actually talking about the Coastal Charm poster behind you.
The Coastal Charm is from our studio tour from 2018.
Wow. No, the painting.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I'm jumping topics way too fast for you. Sorry about that, Elsa. The painting, will that be on your website soon?
Yes, the painting will be on my website, or you can call Carol. The painting and the poster is in the art auction right now.
Oh, that's right. So
everybody call it.
I'm going to put that in the chat. Liveauctioneers.com is where our studio tour, not our studio tour, our art auction is, and Elsa is one of the artists there. Thank you so much, Elsa.
That's a little small preview of what it is.
Yes.
Right on, right on. All right, next we have Debbie Mins next to my right here. Hi, Debbie. How you doing? I have to unmute you there. There we go. Unmute. There we go. Hi, Debbie. How you doing? Oh, yeah, you muted yourself back. Let's see. She got it there.
Oh, let's try. Oh,
Here,
it says Debbie is on your end. All right, we're going to come back to Debbie.
Oh, there she goes.
I'm here.
There she is. All right, good deal.
So Debbie was our featured artist last week, and she was working on these flamingo pastel drawings. Is that what's behind you?
Yes, I'm working on them. I'm hoping to have them finished for Art Festival. I think I will. I've made good progress. So we can look at Art Festival. There are 24. There are 2 of them. There are 24 by 24. And I also finished my demo and framed.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
that
right
is
on.
gorgeous.
Got a lot of
Yeah, she did that right on screen for us last week. So you can go and see Debbie Min's episode from last week on our YouTube channel and watch her creating these lovely pink flamingos behind you and her demo of that. What kind of plant was that again?
It's I think it's a Spanish dagger. It's a
wonderful.
Super.
yucca.
Great, thank you so
Super
much,
cool.
Debbie. That is great. And if you are coming down to Rockport July 4th weekend, you can see Debbie Mins as one of our artist vendors at the Rockport Art Festival right on the fairgrounds in downtown Rockport. So look for her and say hey, and we may have a little giveaway for her to share from Rockport Studio Tour there for anyone who visits. Who's next?
Right on. All right. Next we have to her right is Anita. Hi, Anita. How you doing? What's going on there?
I'm doing good. Everything's wonderful. I am not in my studio today. So I actually have a virtual background of some of my artwork.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
Hold on just 1 second. I need to make sure your spotlight. I pressed the wrong button.
There we go. Super.
I
Cool.
love your virtual background. It's like you're in your gallery downtown.
When you wonderful how technology can let you be somewhere you're not. So I am remote and enjoying the tour that Virginia's giving. It's wonderful. So
wonderful. Well, it's Debra. Debra in Virginia is filming. She's our camera person.
Oh yeah,
that's all right. We have Virginia is also our poster artist this year, so we have some Virginias to get confused. Yeah. Who's next, Doc?
All right, next that would be Diane Johnston. She's been over there hammering away or sawing on something earlier. I saw.
Yeah.
What you got going on, Diane?
Definitely sawing.
Well, I'm working on several things. One, I just finished these earrings with a little touch of turquoise and a big. Oh, why would I want to get that?
I like those hoops. I like those hoops. Those are great. Yeah. That's a nice spin on the traditional silver hoop.
Yeah, and then I'm making these. This is coral, real coral, and I'm putting little caps on them and making earrings out of these.
Super cool.
And I just started a bracelet that I'm sawing out all these little holes. So we'll see how. Yeah, so I've been busy. Yes, I've been sawing.
Okay.
Wonderful. Well,
cool.
Great. Thank you so much. That's Diane at her Silver Silo, and her work is visible at the Art Center Gallery and Gift Shop. Yeah. And she too has a few pieces in the art auction. Who's next?
All right, next I have to her right is Juliana. Hi, Juliana. How you doing? Get you on mute there.
And I just want to say that one of our whole methods here at the Rockport Studio Tour is that we're all busy working. We can't stop creating. So you may see us working on artwork like Juliana is right here. And it's because we are expert multitaskers here as artists. We are problem solvers. We have, or maybe it's just a split attention span. Either way, we are taking it all in. So tell us what you're working on, Juliana.
I am doing some sketches for my show at the end of December. And so here's the sketch to do all the math. These are for some quilt tops. And so I'm going to include hopefully some of the sketches in the show. So I'm doing some watercolors of them right now.
And so for those of you at home who are watching, Juliana is a student of art at TAM UCC here in Corpus Christi. Go Islanders. And she is finishing up her degree. That's the little Islander symbol right there. And she will be finishing up in December. So we will all be hopefully able to support her in person in December at her BFA show. So we'll keep you all posted and make sure we share that on our social media. Who's next, Doc?
But it would get you the
next to that we have Stan. Hi Stan, how you doing? What you got working on over there?
Well, I'm good. I mixed clay this morning. This afternoon, I'm getting inspired looking at Debra Chronister's work.
All right.
I see a little clay on your shirt there.
Yeah, that clay mixing is messy business.
Thanks for taking a break and joining us today. Thanks, Stan.
Yeah, thanks. Right on. All right, next to Stan, we got Vivian. Hi, Vivian. How you doing? Get you unmuted there.
Hi there. I'm doing well.
And here's another one of our studio artists who's in a single car garage. Oh my gosh, it looks like you have been busy.
I've been playing in the mud.
Yes, right on.
I love it.
It's because I need to do some kiln maintenance and I don't know how to do it. So I've been distracting myself by throwing because, you know, why not put off for tomorrow what I should be doing today?
Well, see, to me, I have my response is that I need to free up some space to do that analytical problem solving. So I have to get all this creative energy out. And by creating, I actually am able to, in the background, process some problem solving. Is that what you find? Or is it just straight procrastination?
Lovely.
Okay.
That's me. That's me, exactly.
There you go. It's all in how you spin it.
Right on.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Vivian.
super.
And Vivian, what's your website again?
I am V Rose Pottery on Instagram.
Yes, V Rose Pottery on Instagram. Great. And who's next?
All right, next we have, well, I just saw him there, Michael, or also known as Kuvi.
Kuvi, are you? Well, he'll come right back. Yeah, he'll come right back. He's been having some air conditioning.
I'm here.
He's there.
I'm here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, let's enable your video.
Yeah.
Because he's here. All right. Well, he makes some amazing clocks and some boot scrapers. So if you are a little late on your Father's Day gift, head on down to the Art Center and get a boot scraper. It's a great Texas Father's Day gift for the man in your life.
What happened to me? I'm here.
We're not sure. We're not sure, but I was just trying to do a plug for you because I'm not sure where you went.
Start video.
He went to the Twilight Zone there somewhere.
I did. But
He's
anyway.
in between dimensions right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
There he is. Right on.
Okay,
See,
now we can see your wonderful
definitely
face.
Authentic here at the
Super.
Rockport Studio Tour.
Yeah,
How's it going? Look at
what
that.
I've done, what I've done is I've repurposed one of my clocks from a wall clock to a flat surface clock, and enhanced it with a little bit more turquoise. So this was actually the one I was going to do in the auction, but I didn't realize I missed the deadline until I got a note from Carol.
Hey, so, you can still sell it and donate it.
Well, but I won't be in the catalog or anything, so.
No, you will next year though, Kubi. We'll make sure of it.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to put in the auction. So And anyway, I've added a base to it so it can sit easily on a nightstand or a table or desk or wherever you want to have it.
Or mantle. That would make a great
mantle.
clock on a mantle.
So,
and give us one more look at that table underneath that you made recently.
okay.
Just
Well,
so for folks,
yeah,
this is a live edge.
Turn it away. Yeah,
It's
there's
a live edge coffee table that he's inlaid with turquoise.
And it's exterior too, so it's sitting outside on my deck, you know, so it's finished with epoxy and varnish. The varnish keeps the UV out, and the epoxy protects the wood from deteriorating.
I have to say, I've visited a few patios up in Victoria, and so for our Victoria viewers, I know you all like to hang out and socialize after events and gatherings. Imagine having your cocktails with this table as your centerpiece. Just consider it. If you like it, give me a call at the Rockport Center for the Arts, and I will put you in touch with Kuvi. Kuvi, what's your website, please?
designsbykuvi.com.
Great. And Designs by Kuvi is Couvi. So thank you so much. And you can see his mini episode on our YouTube channel. It's a short 15-minute episode and shows a little bit of what he's doing. Awesome. Doc, that just leaves you. What are you doing?
I'm actually doing nothing this week. I'm actually going to be helping one of my apprentices set up her own shop. And so we've been shopping for supplies, and I got a bunch of tools to pack.
Oh man, you have to give yourself more credit. Helping an apprentice set up their own workspace and being there and spending your time helping them is a great mentoring opportunity for young artists and old artists. And I have to say, I'm so proud to be among a bunch of you who are doing this with the next generation in Rockport. So thank you so much for doing that. And for those of you at home, Doc makes these amazing little animal sculptures, earrings. I don't know. You have to watch his episode. His episode is episode 1. And you can see his, what was it? What fish did you make and donated to the auction?
It is a lionfish.
A lionfish. Go see the lionfish. It is
right.
Amazing. It's in the catalog. So with that, I know we like to chit chat a little bit, but it's so important that everyone has a chance to get to know our artists and realize that when you come to Rockport, you're supporting each and every one of us in our businesses. So with that, Debra, are you back? Are you ready?
Let's see. I think she's
on. She's working at it.
She's working at it.
They're working at it. So with that, let's see.
I think you're good.
You're good?
Hello?
All right.
Okay, good deal. Excellent. So I wanted to tell you about what I'm going to demonstrate on. I have 3 pieces, and this is a new series. And again, they're inspired by ocean creatures. Debra,
I'm not seeing
we have a low bandwidth.
Okay, so we can't see your visual.
Yeah.
They can't. You can't see this?
No.
We're having low streaming on her side.
Try Virginia's phone. There.
Do we see it on there?
I just see she needs to enable her video.
Well, it was there working just.
I know it was there like a minute ago.
Oh, the host has disabled Virginia's video.
Oh no. Let's see. Ask to start video. I'm asking her to start video. There we are.
Okay. That's the one that should be on the wheel.
So this one is working. So smile.
Hi.
You're on YouTube.
Is that the one we're going to use then?
This is the one that's working, and we can see.
Okay.
So I say we use the one that's working. Oh.
Yeah, we got a little bit of bandwidth issue. They're gonna have to use one phone.
Yeah, Debra, if you turn one phone off so that we can put all the bandwidth into the one phone you're using.
Yep. That ought to help.
Just all right. So in the meantime, while you guys work on this, Debra, we can't hear you. just to let you know, and while we're going on here, I'm just going to talk about Artfest for a moment. So Artfest will be in 2 weeks, beginning July 2nd, which is the art auction. You can go online, and I put in our chat, and I'm going to do that again, liveauctioneers.com. That is liveauctioneers.com. And when you go to that website, this is a fantastic website. I have already gone down the rabbit hole looking at all the different auctions. I have looked at book auctions for my husband. I have looked at fine art, local art, books, comic books, oh, you name it, they have it. So when you go, search for Rockport Studio Tour Rockport Art Festival, Art Auction, Summer Art Auction, and you will find it. Go ahead, register with liveauctioneers.com, create an account. You'll enter in to choose our auction, and you can take a look at some of the amazing artwork that we have available, including all of our artists right here in Rockport.
Super cool.
Each week we visit with one of our artists here, and we are continuing to do that. In the future, we are going to open this up to every member of the Rockport Arts Center. So after we have our studio tour in September, hopefully, then we will make sure that we open this up for all individuals. So we will make a schedule, we can rotate, and you can have your own show here on YouTube and share all of this. So Deborah, are you all set? We're going to try again.
So of course she got to unmute herself there. She still has a low network.
All right, so.
I wonder why it was working so well and now it doesn't. Shall I go?
Yeah, go ahead and go. It's just your internet is super slow right now. There's something we have to deal with.
Okay, and if we think it's the device, then Barbara has her iPad we could switch to.
Well,
it's network actually on your side. So like your router or something is too far away, something like that.
You don't have one. I don't have one. I just work off the phone.
Off the phone.
So, well, there's one way. What if you ask Barbara to come into our Zoom meeting one more time? Because if she re-enters, it may be faster, and we can use that then. So
she's working on it. She's trying it now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We just can't see your beautiful work.
Yeah. Hey, well, I am working with about a 2-pound ball of porcelain, and as soon as Barbara gets this hooked up, then I'll.
So let's describe it since we can't see it. How big is a 2-pound ball of porcelain for, like, is it a softball size, a baseball size?
Exactly. It is a softball size piece of clay. And one of the interesting things is that I have these pieces that are stoneware now. And I say,
all right, Deborah.
Now we got back feed.
Now we're going to disconnect Deborah's phone because I see Barbara.
All right, super cool.
There we go. Oh, we're working on it. It's coming.
The network.
It's coming. What are you all showing us? We can't hear you though.
Well,
oh, we're on this one. Okay.
Try that one.
There she is. We got her.
There we go.
Okay.
Yay, you're on.
Hey.
So that is a softball size of porcelain. And that's not as white as what you showed us.
it's not. This type of porcelain is easier to work with.
Okay, you got to mute one of those.
Sorry, we have to sacrifice the other phone and
yeah.
Yep.
Porcelain shrinks a lot, and this particular porcelain shrinks a little bit less, but just to give you an idea, this particular piece has been fired to stoneware. It sings when you tap it. And
So you actually put that in a kiln and fire it up, and what degrees does it fire at?
this is a mid-range porcelain, and so it fires to cone cone 6, which is about 2,240 degrees, give or take.
2,240 degrees. All right, that might melt a finger or two.
Hey, and we have a couple questions from the audience. They were wondering what type of clear glaze to use.
You know,
I think it was in reference to the porcelain cups.
Ah, yes, that is the standard formula that I have. I'd be happy to email it to anybody. It's a cone 6 clear formula that I make up at the studio. So it's not a commercial glaze, it's a formula. But like I said, I'd be happy to share that formula if anybody wants it. And this series is also covered with that same clear glaze. I get the colors by using these velvet underglazes. And so this is the porcelain at leather hard. This is, it's feels a lot like leather. And this is something that I'm going to tool in just a minute. But first of all, we'll throw this. And it's so funny because when you talk about throwing with ceramics, there's really no actual throwing of anything involved.
Barbara, you covered up the camera with your finger. Oh, wonderful, perfect.
It's on the bottom. Oh, it's upside down. That's why. Yeah.
Should we turn it
It's
on?
working though.
It's
Okay,
good.
it's right side up to us.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So
it's
this
gonna
is
auto orient.
Yeah, but you do need to move your fingers.
your fingers are on.
It's at the bottom left. Okay, duh.
There we go. Right on. You got it there. We're gonna work it out.
Roll with it. Just roll with it.
Oh my God.
Good deal.
All right.
So throwing, here we go. Centering is one of the most challenging things for a new person to learn.
Yeah, I see that in your arms, you know, you can see how much work you're putting towards that and pressure.
Yes. People can actually throw and center even 100 pounds of clay. 2 pounds is really easy, but when you get into the larger volumes, it can really beat you up.
It's lucky that she does yoga, so she can do anything.
That's right. I can do anything because I do yoga.
And eats microgreens from her garden.
Right?
Yes, yes.
And eggs from my chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely have the happy home here.
And it's amazing. She lives like right in downtown Victoria.
Yeah.
Well, just off of the downtown area, but right down there.
Right.
Yeah.
So once it's really still.
And when you mean still, it means it's not wobbling from side to side. You see how it's circling and it looks centered. It's not lopsided.
Right. And I can touch it here and I touch it equally all the way around here and here. And the slip on the outside can trip you up a little bit. It can be, it can give the illusion that it's not centered, but that's just the surface decoration on there.
Yeah, and for those at home who aren't familiar with terms within pottery, slip is a very wet clay. So it's the clay that she's using, but very diluted is what's on her hand right there. It's like a paste. And so that's what she was saying, that the actual clay is centered, but there's some kind of whitewash around it.
Right. And the wheel is such a great tool. And I try to use the wheel any opportunity I get. And you'll see when I put the colors on that I really make good use of this tool. So to make anything out of ceramic, it has to be hollow. If it's not, if it's a solid block, then it can blow up when you fire it. And that said, people make bricks all the time. That's ceramic too. And those can be 3 inches thick, 4 inches thick, but those are fired over a long period of time. And
so it blows up because there's air in clay that
And
expands, right?
Moisture.
Right.
Moisture,
Right.
yeah.
So it's a lot like building a house in the sense that when you're throwing, you have to make the foundation first. And I think of two different kinds of floors. If you're going to make a plate, you might want a flat floor. But of course, for my hemispheric types of bowls, I like a nice curvy floor like a smiley face. And so I'm going to do the floor in there and you can't see a thing. So I'll compress it and just know that there's a nice, happy, smiley face floor in there. I don't know, Virginia, can you get in there? Are y'all able to see that?
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
Good, good. Okay, and now I will work only on one wall at a time. I'm not going to work on the outside of this now. I'm going to just define the form by drawing this wall in space.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know. It's always like the magic thing. And since I like these big fat rims, I'll work on the walls some, because I want the walls to be generally thin, but I'll leave a big fat rim here. And I'll define it. I'm defining it with my thumb here on the outside. And that way I have a place that I can stop when I'm doing my next pull up. Okay, everything is nicely lubricated. I'm going to do another pull here and up and out and whoop, right up to that rim. Good. And I'll do one more, except it's a little sticky. I'm going to add a little bit more moisture here. Throwing is the fastest way to make a form and to make this kind of lyrical, poetic kind of form. It's such an immediate way of working. And I can take any one of these marvelous tools, these ribs, and smooth it out.
That is one of those lovely half sphere bowl shapes you were discussing earlier.
You got it. I just love this shape. You know, one of the reasons why I like this is because let's say you've got your favorite cereal or your ice cream with all the good chunks in it, and you got your spoon in there, and you want to chase that chunk of chocolate right up the wall of the bowl, and that lip helps to flip that thing right into your spoon. So you can
Genius.
Yes, yes. See, it's all very pragmatic. So that's as quickly as you can make a form in ceramics, which is just amazing to me. But there's all the time spent in refining. This is just the first step. And I'll show y'all the second step on a piece that I threw yesterday.
That's just beautiful. Just so simple, but just really.
It is. It's some of the most simple shapes are the most pleasing to our eye.
Yeah.
Well, and the idea of a bowl is one of those universal forms. If you have a bowl, you can always get a water. You can always help yourself to soup, to a meal. It's such a happy, humble form.
It goes back millennia to the very first people that trying to eat something out of something.
Exactly, right.
Instead of just grabbing it.
Or scooping a cup of water out of the well. A bowl and a knife. If you've got those two things, you're probably okay. So here we have the nice fat lip. And one of the things about trimming, the next step, first of all, you have to let it set up to where it's the right state. And it's got to feel like leather. So I can still put my fingernail, make a mark in it, but it is strong enough to not slump. I could not pick that pole up. It would be very soft. So first step first, evaluating. What do I want to do with this piece? So I have to feel it. It's real thin right here. Good. And it gets a little bit thicker right here. So I'm going to make.
So you want thin? You want it thin? Like, what are you looking for?
Ah, good question. I visually like the big fat lip, but then the wall, I like it to be thin so it's not real heavy. And for balance, I want to have a fat round foot too. So I'll put a fat round foot on this. And how thick is this part in the center? It's not very thick, so I cannot take much away from here. Right now, this has been cut right off the bat, right? This is the bat. And
it's not a baseball bat, folks. It's just actually the plate that we're sitting on.
Right.
I can just imagine my dad watching and being like, I don't see a baseball.
Right.
Why did you make that little line in the clay?
Because I'm going to take that away. That's where it starts getting a little thicker. So I don't know if y'all heard Barbara, but she asked me why I made that line. And that is so that I know where to remove.
Is it a line that's wet or?
I just made a fingernail mark line.
Oh,
right here.
I see. I see. Okay.
So I will take that away when it's time.
Ah.
Yeah. So I'm going to get this centered on the wheel. And Stan, can you tap center?
Yeah.
I've never mastered that.
So let's say, what is tap centering?
It's like magic. I think that only real magicians can do it. And I have great admiration for Stan because he can do it. It's where you look at the piece. I think you have to cross your eyes and hold your tongue a certain way, and you make it go, and then you tap it until it's in the middle of the bat. Because you want this to be center. Otherwise, it doesn't, your foot will be off center from the rim. I have one of those fancy tools that centers for you and holds the clay, holds the piece, but I don't use it often because it lifts the height of the piece and the clay trimmings go everywhere. This is one of my favorite steps because it's just so much fun to watch.
So you're just doing that to keep it in place.
Right.
That's not a decorative element.
Correct. So you center it and then you lock it on. And I'm doing an extra lock because, you know, as many things have gone wrong on this, I don't want another thing to go wrong like this thing flying off. Oh my gosh. Well, and it's not quite centered, but we're just going to go with it. So watching this spiral ribbon of clay come off is just one of the most gratifying and beautiful things. Yeah, it is fun. I have to say, this is just one of the most fun activities. And these are all skills that you can learn when you take a ceramics class. And I know that there are some in Rockport and there's some in Victoria College.
Yeah, there's some at the Rockport Center for the Arts. Right now we aren't having our in-person classes at the moment, but I do know that several of our artists do offer independent workshops and classes at times. So you can always reach out to the Art Center and we could match you up with someone, or check your local listings wherever you are, whether you're in Texas or you're in New York or you're in Guatemala. Check out the internet and see what artist or art center is near you. they can show you, because as I can tell, Barbara is getting a bit more out of this being there in person than she is online. And I'm getting a lot watching you here on my screen. But if you really are interested in creating something, whether it's on a wheel or in a slab, just reach out to us. You can reach us at Rockport Center for the Arts, rockportartcenter.com, or Debra her website is, what's your website again?
Debra's Domain.
Debra's Domain.org. While you're trimming, I'm just going to ask one more time for each of our artists to give their website. We have some notes in the chat asking for Elsa's website. Elsa, would you mind unmuting and just speaking up and telling us your website?
Okay, my website is elsamatthews.com. Very simple. Remember my name.
Boom,
And
I have it in the chat now. Great, thank you, Elsa. Debbie,
okay.
do you have a website?
I do not have a website right now.
But you can see Debbie Mins at the Rockport Art Festival on 4th of July weekend. Thank you. Anita Diebel, she has Anita Diebel Studios, right, Anita.com? Yeah, AnitaDiebelStudio.com. That's her website. And she is also in downtown Rockport. And you can visit her on by appointment. You can just reach out to her and she'll let you know when she's available. Doc, your website, is that docrobertsglass.com?
No, it's actually theflameworker.com.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
Completely wrong.
But I'm on Instagram too. I'm on Facebook, and recently I just joined TikTok, so you can see some little short clips of stuff, and I make little.
You'll have to share some of those with me because I'm not on TikTok yet.
Yeah.
And Stan, what's your website?
StanUrban.com. But I think Debra is doing something really important there.
Okay, let's go back to
We should
Debra.
get her to talk about it.
What was that, Stan?
How you added water to that foot?
Ah, yes. Well, I did. I swept it with a wet sponge because that takes away the carving marks and makes it look like it's thrown that way. And it's also gonna help keep it balanced and dry evenly.
What about the brush? What's the brush for?
Ah, the brush.
Yeah.
This is to help get the trimmings out from the center.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I can blow them out, but sometimes I just need a little help.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
That part on the bottom that's flat there, how do you make sure it sits level when you flip it up and it's on a table?
How do you make the foot level?
Yeah. How does that become level?
Holding the tool really steady and being real still with the tool means that everything that goes under there is going to be parallel to the plane of the wheel head.
So you're just making it plain to that wheel head. So what you're doing is coming up like so many inches or whatever with your fingers and then making it level at that point only.
Right. And there is a mistake that's common about not taking enough here and taking too much here so that it sits on the center. And that's not, I mean, that means that the bowl is going to spin, or whatever form that you're using is going to spin. And that's not ideal.
Okay.
Debra,
Super cool.
I have a question for you. What goes into your decision making about how wide to make the foot?
Generally speaking, that's a very good question. Generally, I will measure about half. Here, I'll take it. Thanks. So I'll go the diameter of, I guess that's the
radius.
The radius, thank you. The radius is the diameter of the foot. That's my personal preference in harmony. What's yours, Stan?
Well, I think about the stability of it and whether or not I want it to be more earthy with a wider, broader foot or more perched up on a smaller foot. So function plays into that. You know, what it's going to be used for. And yeah, and I think about those proportions of width of the bowl in relation to the width of the foot. Yeah.
Vivian, do you have any input on how wide you make your feet? I guess it's feet.
Her foots.
Her foots.
We're not from Texas, are we?
One of the things that I talk about with my class is that you can give your form, whatever it is, this air of being a ballerina by having this tiny little foot, especially if it's decorative and not functional. Or you can give the sumo wrestler kind of, I am the unmovable object kind of aesthetic. And they're both valid according to what your intent is.
Great. Vivian, you were going to say?
I was just going to say that when I was at the art center in Corpus Christi, she just told me, where the bowl scoops, that's where you put the foot. So that's, I've never been a professor, so.
Well, still,
I can't answer questions like Dan and Deborah. I do it visually.
So, I mean, it's amazing what you've accomplished by self-teaching. So I want to make sure, I mean, you have your own expertise. So what we've learned is that you can really make it what you want. There's a little room for play. Deborah, what are you up to now?
I'm demonstrating to Bird here how to how to apply color. Like I was saying earlier, the wheel is a tool. It's a fantastic tool that can do a lot of things. And, when people think about painting, a lot of people will dip into the vat of paint and then apply it. And then they have to recharge the brush and apply and recharge and apply. But I try to do it a lot faster.
The pet bird she is pretty demanding right now.
Birdie thinks that's going to be a bird bath.
She might, actually. She might. Let's see.
Oh, that is so cool.
That's a great idea.
Got the seal of approval.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Well, and when I was a kid, I loved spin art, right?
Oh, yes. I had so many t-shirts of spin art.
Yeah. And well, that emptied that one. And now I can smooth this out.
Is that going to stay purple or does it change color?
It will be purple. Yes.
So is that an underglaze or a glaze?
It is a velvet underglaze. It is one of these velvet underglazes by Amico. And I am able to do some really cool liquid work with these by drawing up colors into a syringe. And I'm going to load that up right now.
That's such a great idea to glaze it while it's leather hard, because it'll remain wet long enough to really smooth it out.
Exactly. So I'm going to get these syringes here and load up the colors that I want. So I've got purple in there, or violet.
All right. So Deborah, we are running along. So while you're getting ready here, and we're going to continue with your demo and your syringes, let's go ahead and do the drawing. So Doc, let's do between 1 and 40. So Doc, if I will go ahead, and why don't you let people know how we do the drawing?
Yeah, right on, right on. Okay, so how this drawing is going to work, everybody's in the chat room on the YouTube channel. If you're in that chat room, go ahead and pick a number, 1 through 40. And for those that aren't in the chat room, if you want to join the chat room, you just have to log into YouTube and create your account on YouTube, and you can log in and join the chat room anytime. And then you get the chance to, pick a number too as well. If you haven't already, on the very bottom in the middle, there's a little thumbs up. Pick the thumbs up if you like the video, and go ahead and hit that little red subscribe button. That'll subscribe you to this channel here, and then you'll always get a notification when we do go live, and for everybody else in the world. And so we got some numbers coming in. I see 23, 8, 44. I think it was 1 through 40.
Shelly
So Shelly,
Bryan, please resubmit under 40, please. Shelly
40.
Bryan. But as we keep on going, so
Yeah,
Deborah.
5, 13.
Oh, Deborah's going to show us again
Okay.
what we're working towards.
So
And it's
whoever gets the winning number can pick one of these three.
Can we get the cameraman to get a little closer, or the camera woman? There we go. Right on.
Beautiful.
Super cool.
Yes. And
so that one on the right hand side, is that two different colors, purple and red, or is it just all one color?
It's purple and red and
Okay.
silver, white gold.
Okay.
This one is blue and purple.
And
those
these
are
are
done with the velvet underglazes.
And these are the dolphin handles casted from LaBelle?
Yes.
Wow, so you get a
Super.
piece of history. You get a piece of Texas history with these sculptures, and that is amazing. So
And if anybody out there is interested in any of these objects that I have here, you can email me off of debrasdomain.org, or you can get my contact information from Carol at Rockport Center for the Arts. Are we ready to squish some clay? Some color?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are. Go head on back. So we're going to just take a couple more numbers. You guys can type those in, any numbers. You have a couple more minutes. Elizabeth Payne, I see you. You're number 17. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. We would love for you to do a show, so give me a call.
Hi,
Super.
We want to see your
Yeah.
studio, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Yeah, we all miss you, Elizabeth.
That was a huge shout out. Right on.
To one of our fellow Rockport Studio Tour Live artists in the studio, who is in the audience today. So let's squish some paint. We'll do it in 2 minutes. You have 2 more minutes to
get the numbers
type in your number.
Okay, I want to make sure this base is nice and wet so that the colors will flow.
And the color will be that bold, that bright and brilliant under the glaze?
Very close, very
cool.
very close. And then I'll go back with another color and I'll do the rim later. I just wanted to see some of this magic right now because it's so much fun to watch it shift and change. Now, I don't have this pot attached to the back because I wanted to be able to move it around and play with it. So I'm going to try to do it where you can see it pretty well.
Ah, spin art in pottery.
Well, it's kind of.
Oh, very cool.
And then I allow it to mix and meld.
That is very cool. It's very organic.
Yes. And when you see those pieces that are fired, you'll see that there is a considerable amount of interplay with the color. But I can also take these and go, that's too much red right there. I want to put a little blue right there and work some more with it. So I have a lot of leeway. Or if I decide I want some more blue around the edge, then I can control it and play with it. But then what I am going to do is to envision what kind of ocean creature I want to live in this space. And instead of doing those Haeckel decals, I've started drawing in them. And,
wow.
And I hope we can see it. This is what we were trying to look at earlier. So jellyfish.
Oh, so you drew that. That wasn't a decal.
Right.
That is beautiful.
There's another jellyfish with a long, all the tentacles going down.
Wow.
And then this one is.
Deborah, what would on your website or at a gallery, how much would one of these bowls cost? That is beautiful.
With the amount of time that goes into these are going to be more expensive than the average bowl. Probably.
Well, sure.
These are the first 3, and I honestly haven't thought of a price yet. So maybe y'all can give me some suggestions. I was thinking maybe 75.
Right. Oh, I think that's very reasonable for that. I think that's beautiful. And how about we'll talk a little bit offline about the pricing, and we'll announce a price next week, maybe.
Perfect. That sounds great. Well, that's the demo, unless y'all have any other questions.
Well, we'll be right back with you in just a moment. I'm going to pass control over to Doc, and we're going to find out who is going to win the lovely dolphin heart hanging sculptures.
Super cool.
What did I call it? The Baroque. Love in the Baroque series.
Oh,
yeah.
Love in the Baroque. So,
Yeah.
Doc, take it away.
All right,
We
so
have a bunch of
here we go.
numbers.
I got 1 through 40. Number 9 is not the number, guys.
All right, let's do
count
it.
down. 3, 2, 1, and it's number 32. Do we have a 32?
We have
32.
a 36 is our closest
36.
number. So 36 is
36.
Cisco Willison. Cisco, congratulations. He's
Super
here
cool.
in Rockport. All you have to do, Cisco, is give me a text and I will forward Deborah's number to you. And you can reach out and arrange delivery of your amazing Love in the Baroque piece. Thank you, Deborah, so much for inviting us into your home and your studio, sharing your amazing pets and animals, as well as all of your work. We appreciate it so much. It took me back to when I was a child doing spin art, but with a whole new modern take. Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. Thanks, everybody.
All right. So from all of us
Great
to
job,
all
Deborah.
of you. Yeah, good job.
Yes,
Thank
great.
you for
Thanks,
watching, and we'll see you next week for a very special episode featuring Artfest. Bye, everyone. Ta-ta for now.
Bye.